And I think we are live.
Yes, sir.
I
Says
think we
live.
are. Refresh if anybody has to refresh. I hope that chat is going to be working now. So if anybody can hear us and see us, let us know in a chat.
Refresh if anybody has to refresh.
Rookie mistake over here. I had to start, guys, another live stream because for some reason in the other one that I posted a few hours ago, we had chat was disabled. Nobody could message anything. So it worked out okay because I already had like what nine dislikes on that one. Right?
It was more dislikes than likes.
Yeah,
Like,
it was
what
funny. So now we got a clean slate and we have no dislikes. So hey everybody, how's everybody doing? I'm Pete, Craigslist Hunter. I got Ronnie with me here, Hard Speakers. How are you, Ronnie?
I'm doing good. Just hanging out.
How's the weather by you there in Cape Cod?
It's been like for some reason today I've been cold. Like I just can't get warm in the house. And it's not that cold. It's only like 45 out maybe. You know, it's not really that chilly. I mean, I think tomorrow's supposed to be like in the 50s for the next like 5-6 days, like mid 50s. I mean, it hasn't been that bad, but I did turn the heat on the other day in the house because it was.
Yeah,
It was
I got the heat on too as well now because it's been only in 50s, low 40s, mid 50s. It hasn't been that warm. I think average for this time of year out here it's still like 59, 60 degrees. So it's been on the chilly side, you know. Did we see if everybody can hear us? I even didn't look at the chat here. Let me pop this chat. I got it on the computer. I hope everybody can hear us good. Hope the sound is good. The video is good.
Yeah, it looks like everybody can hear us.
Awesome. Somebody's saying cold in Michigan. Yeah, well, I believe it, especially when you are up north in Michigan. Hey guys, how's everybody doing? All right, we got some people in. We really don't have like a huge topic here. We just want to chat. We haven't done this in a while. As you guys can see, we're not calling this really reselling polls because Chad is not here. So it's just me and Ronnie. Hopefully next week or when we get into more colder weather, maybe Chad will show up eventually. He's been busy. He's been doing other things and like fishing with magnets and things like that. So how are yourselves lately, Ronnie?
Overall? My sales have been good. I mean, last month I think we were up over 200%, and then this month we're like up 140%. So it's now that I put a lot more time into it and tweaked a little few different things, it's been going good. But I think just consistency of listing has been the biggest thing, you know?
Right. I mean, I seen your store. Well, I haven't looked at it in a while, but I seen that you kind of dropped quite a bit as far as the inventory, you know?
Yeah, I think I'm still under like 400 active listings, and I'm auctioning off a bunch of just older things just to move some stuff. There's a bunch of things that just haven't sold. I mean, if they don't sell this recent like round of auctions, I'm donating a lot of stuff just because I want the space back at the moment, you know, just to list other things.
But what made when you're saying your sales are up, like you said, like huge number, 150%? I mean, that's what are you doing to make those like increase? I mean, that's pretty big.
Well, listing, I think in general, we list more consistently now. We weren't listing, like I think I went like only listing 2 or 3 times since May. Like, and you know, other than like a few things here or there, I think we just haven't really listed at all. And we had huge piles of stuff. And I think also my buying has changed. I kind of focus on things that seem to sell pretty quickly for us and stay away from things that tend to sit for long periods of time. you know. And also, I have my store actually supposedly next month is supposed to come. I mean, our account in general was like below standard most of the year because of some issues we had when we went to Orlando last May, and that I didn't get. Like eBay told me that they were going to take care of them, you know, some of the issues because it was a glitch with the shipping thing. You know, you change the handling time, but it was having people be able to open cases for items not received, but it's still within the shipping time was not even, you know, I was still away and I didn't focus too much on it. You know, I didn't get back in touch with sometimes. And eBay would get the notification, it seemed like close it like within sometimes 20 minutes, you know. They were supposed to fix it. I kept calling them a few different times. They said, "Oh, we're going to fix it." Then a month or two went by. I called them, and then they said, "Well, it's kind of too late now. It's past the time where we can fix it." And I was like, "Whatever." Like you just get
Right.
just to the point where you just don't want to call anymore. You just get tired of it, and you're like, "Ah, you know what? 6 months, 7 months, it's going to fall off anyway." But we've been keeping somewhat paced with last year for the most. I mean, close to last year. So
Yeah.
some months are up a little bit, and then some months are down a little bit. But I'm surprised. But I think it's just, you know, buying and getting better quality stuff, or you know, staying away from things that tend to sell slower or weren't selling as good.
Mine has been mixed throughout my reselling on eBay, meaning mixed. I sell a lot of stuff that it's like listed yesterday and it sells, and then I get a lot of sales from stuff that it's been listed half a year ago, a year. So I have like a really good mix of stuff, and it seems a little bit of everything is selling. So that keeps me kind of steady. Overall, the summer was good. Now is good. It's steady. I hope it keeps up like that. I really don't plan too much for like a fourth quarter. You know, it's not like I try to push it and let's get more inventory out there. We're just kind of steady at the same pace. Somebody's asking here. I see you put that question in here from Mark. You guys check out Gary V new YouTube trash talk. I seen it. I think I seen the first episode. I haven't seen. I think he's got like 2 or 3 now about his garage selling. Nothing new here. Nothing new, really. I mean, and we've been talking about this crap for years, right? And he's now putting out videos about it. The question is, the guy has a huge following, and actually these videos are very popular that he's making. What kind of impact is going to make? I know it's kind of end to the season for him, especially even being in New York. You know, the garage sales are winding down. So I think that might end for him within a month or so. So I wonder what kind of content he's going to put in about reselling from garage sale. I mean, he's been pushing that it's right doable, right? That you can get your lazy ass up, go find some shit, put it on eBay and sell it. I mean, there's nothing new, you know? So, and he's getting some traction on that, which is cool.
I'm not a, what's his name? Gary. I'm not a fan of him at all.
Yeah.
I just don't like him.
I mean, he likes to hype it up, everything. I mean, he is a businessman. He found his niche, you know, he's doing okay. Very motivational speaker, you know. It seems to me that he's going into that more and pushing that more, but hey, whatever works, you know, whatever works for him. So
wasn't he charging like $10,000 for people to spend like a day with him or something?
Yeah, I think, what's his name? I think paid up and went to see him.
Oh, Hustler Hacks.
Hustle Hacks. Yeah. I never talked to him about it.
I guess it's a tax write-off, right?
Yeah, probably, you know, it's an investment into your business, correct?
Yeah, better than paying Uncle Sam, I guess.
So I wonder how much money Gary made on that. I wonder how many people. I bet you a bunch of people did that.
Yeah, I just don't know. I just wish he would talk about something else. I mean, I'm not worried about it. It's kind of no different than anything else. I mean, most people will watch it, but they won't act on it, or if they do act on it, they'll fizzle out of it in a few months.
Yeah, but it's just like this, you know. We talked about this stuff all the time, reselling, right? And everybody say, you know, that most of the YouTubers hyped up everything, and everything is beautiful, nice and dandy, and millions are coming down. And you know, you walk into a Goodwill with $10, you walk out with $10,000 worth of, you know, junk to resell. You know, it's all hyped up. You know, that's reality. Half of these freaking videos that I watch and the titles, you know, I turned 20 into 13,000. I did this and that, you know. You see titles like that as you scrolling through the feed. Just type in reselling on eBay. And the
It's to catch,
titles that you're gonna see are gonna blow you away, right?
it's to catch your attention. I think it's the, you know, no different than the people that put like, I made $1 into $1 million. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
just to catch your attention. So I mean, you know, it is what it is. But his swearing is what drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Like I swear a little bit, but it's like, dude, he just, I think, goes overboard. It's like he tries to grab your attention with constantly you know, saying something. It's like, oh, come on.
Yeah, he likes to, you know, and when he gets hot about something, he will throw those bumps left and right, you know, and like, yeah, but I guess it works for him, and he's still it's getting like, you know, brand deals, and he's swearing on a stage, you know, so and people still signing up him, and you know, so he gets the crowd going. He sells out the arenas, you know. He's like the rock star in motivational land right now. I mean, that's what he does. So
Actually, I was just thinking about it right now. His show is trash talk, but the original show where they were talking live on YouTube like 4 or 5 years ago was called Trash Talk and Treasure, I think. So I mean, it's kind of similar to that.
yeah, no.
Someone sue him. Where are they? I don't think any of them make YouTube videos anymore.
Somebody's asking, hey guys, is there a way of listing an offer up from your PC? Every time I try, it just refers me to the app on your phone. I don't think you can't anymore. I think you can do some changes after you list. You can go into your listing and change, but you got to strictly list from your app on a phone on OfferUp. I'm pretty sure about that. Thanks, Krillin. Appreciate for the super chat. 10,000 for the day. Who is he? Stormy Daniels. Please tell Chat to clean his magnet. It's funny. That's funny. You know, actually, I enjoy magnet fishing. I subscribe to a couple channels. I subscribe to one guy in England. He's been doing it for years, and he goes through all these bridges. I don't know what town it is. I can't remember, but it's like a major river, and there's a lot of barges going there and stuff. And he uses that magnet. And he pulls out all kinds of stuff. And it is for some reason entertaining. So. For me, I would just, if I would be Chad, I would create totally different channel for that and just go with it, you know, because so many people are used to coming into his channel for reselling, and all of a sudden there's no reselling and few videos of him throwing a magnet into the ocean, and you go, how did I end up here, you know?
Yeah, it's when I talked about doing like a travel channel, people were like, yo, you need to start another channel. I was cool with it. I was like, okay, no problem. But
yeah, somebody's asking, Pete, do you sell mailboxes on eBay? I need one. I know what he's talking about. In the recent couple loads that I got from Toys R Us, I got some mailboxes, and they're actually a little bit too heavy and bulky. It's not worth it for me to ship them. Message me privately. Depends where you are. Maybe I can ship one. But if you are like, you know, down on West Coast, it's just not gonna be. It's not gonna make sense. I got a lot of this stuff listed on eBay, but local pickup. So, okay, we got a question here. Do you end up paying more in fees without eBay store? Thanks. Yeah, a little bit. It's a tiny bit, not a big difference. Insertion fees, I usually don't worry about at all because I get all these emails every week or every couple weeks for free listings from eBay. So, and we on average list about 300 to 400 items a month. So, no, I'm not really worrying about that. How much your insertion cost with the store, Ronnie? Is it like 10? Like
Good
20?
question. I think it's 20 cents.
Yeah, I think mine is 30. No, they raised it. I think it's 35 now without the store or something like that. But like I said, I'm not really worrying about it. I mean, it's most of them are free anyway. Like you get these email and you just approve them and they give you like, 250, 500 free, whatever. So Pete, I sold a Marantz amp the other day for 2,500 that I picked up for $200. That's awesome, man. I hope you double box it. I hope you insure that package, and I hope you did a signature confirmation. That's my rule. We've been having that rule for a long time now. Anything over $200 is getting signature confirmation. Anything over $500 is getting signature confirmation and insurance. So how you do it, Ronnie? If you sell something really expensive, do you insure it or do you just do signature? What do you do?
If it's a piece of clothing, I just do signature. I don't insure a piece of clothing. I feel like nothing's gonna happen to it. It depends. Like I know when we sold like a $1,400 frying pan, that got insured and everything. And it just depends on what it is. Some electronics, stuff like that, we insure. But if it's clothing, I don't really insure it. Usually for me, if it's over $500, I'll do signature confirmation. I think on eBay it used to be what, 250, and then now it's like 750. I think where they require it, but
Yeah, I think it's 750 right now that you get that automatic. Now is it automatic? No, automatic signature confirmation, right? Or is it insurance?
signature confirmation.
Signature confirmation, yeah.
You have to add the insurance. Insurance can be pricey once you start getting to those higher dollar things, but you should add it into the price of when you list the item. You should have that in the back of your mind.
Somebody's asking $1,400 frying pan. That's so true. You know what? I just had a guy a week ago brought in Griswold number 20 inch with it's not a pan because it had, well, it's a pan, but it not like a regular pan with one handle, but it had
like a Dutch oven, or
yeah, well, it was still thin like a pan, but it had two
okay.
handles on each side.
Oh, okay, like a camp one.
Yeah. And we went back and forth for 45 minutes and he walked out of my store. I didn't buy it. And that thing, the cheapest one that sold was like $1,200. The most expensive one was $2,100. And he just wanted too much money. And it was a little bit rough. I mean, it wasn't totally beat up, but it was rough. So I was looking at that lower priced, range that maybe I would get like $1,000 to $1,200 on it. And he was like stuck at $750 on it and he wouldn't budge. I'm like, there's no way. There's no money to be made,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
The one we sold was a Griswold number 13, and actually the little number is 720. And some of them actually went for a lot more than that recently, last time I checked. It's weird. I'll check like every once in a while, and either they're selling below that, like 600 to 800, and then other times they're selling close to 2,000. I'm like, how does that happen? What's the market on Griswold cast iron frying pans.
Yeah, I can't remember the number on this one. I think it was 7 something also, but they called this one a hotel. I think this was because it was made mainly for commercial use, and like a nickname for this frying pan was a hotel. You can Google it, or you can go on eBay. You'll find them if you even put just hotel number 20-inch. So it was 7 something. I can't remember, 723 or 740. I don't remember now. But yeah, there's a lot of money in that metal.
Somebody asked a question here. What was the worst thing you ever bought?
What was the worst thing? Huh, that's a good one. I should remember relatively quickly, right? It was that bad.
I'll go first if you want me to, because I can remember my worst was I bought a bunch of jackets off of somebody on Craigslist. And this is probably like 3-4 years ago. And they were in a rush. I was looking over the jackets and I was like, okay, this is a great deal. I paid like $3 or $3.50, and wind up being that the Montclair jackets, the most valuable ones, wind up being fake. And you know, they were going for anywhere from $500 to like up to $1,000 for those models. But after looking at them closely, and they have a little number that you put in the website, and they'll tell you if the item is fake or not. And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" But I made back my money on some of the other jackets and stuff that I got.
Yeah,
I didn't, but it was the initial fact that, you know, you got bamboozled, you got screwed.
yeah. I mean, there was few buys. I mean, we bought this expensive watch that it turned out to be fake. So that was money just out the window because there's nothing you can do with it, you know. I bought some inks. I bought a big amount of inks, those big cartridges for big copiers from HP, that they were apparently sealed. Guess what? They switched them all on the inside. The seals were good on the top, but they somehow unglued the boxes, the seams on the bottom, and they switched the cartridges. They took the good cartridges out and they put the bad ones in. It was a buy that I did off Craigslist.
Oh, that's shady.
Yeah, it was, how much was it? $600.
Now, I think I remember did you ship a few of those?
Yes.
And then found out after?
And we find out after. And the company, actually, I was like screaming at them first, you know, that they were trying to pull a big one on me. Are you guys trying to scam me? Blah, blah, blah. And the guy says, you know, listen, we're a reputable company. We sell ink all the time. You can check my rating, all this. Why don't you open few more if you have more? And I did that, and I was like, holy shit. You know? So, yeah, it happens. It happens. Michael, thanks. Appreciate it. Somebody says recommends my recommendation of the Pure Hustle podcast. I like their show. New guys, couple new guys. They started a podcast a few months ago. Pretty interesting. It's kind of cool perspective to listen to them. You know why? Because one of them is kind of veteran reseller, has been selling for quite a few years. And the other guy is a rookie who just started at the same time as they started the podcast. So he's got like his perspective of how things are running for him as a total newbie. And the other guy is like a coach. And it's funny to listen to him, how they look at things. You know, it's pretty interesting. Question: what is your experience with finding estates and yard sales that produce the best returns? Location, middle class, day of the week, etc. Strategies. What are your strategies for estates, Ronnie?
Go the first day. First, like scan. You know, you can go to estatesales.net. Look in your area. Look over the pictures. They almost all put pictures up. You know, study the pictures, see something you like, you know, you can most likely study it and, you know, have an idea of what you can pay for something. That way, when it's time to go there, you want to be kind of early. So I always show up like an hour early, get in line near the front, and I want to get the item I came there for. I've been the second person in line and missed out on the item because the guy in front of me got the item. So get there. Don't expect. I've seen people show up the time of the sale, and it's most of the stuff in the estate sale sells probably within that first hour. Anything of people know about. There's some things that stick around sometimes, but just depends. But I like higher end neighborhoods too. It just depends. I like certain estate sale companies. You get accustomed to which ones are willing to work with you, which ones aren't. Some companies, you make a rapport with you. We buy a lot of clothing. They start giving us a good deal, even right off the bat, because they know we're going to buy a lot of stuff. So let's give them a better deal in the beginning, move this stuff, and make them happy. They're happy. Get the stuff out of it. It's all about moving the stuff for them.
Yeah, for sure. And like my strategy for garage sales is I like old neighborhoods. The older the neighborhood, the better it is, especially if you're looking for older vintage stuff, because those people tend to have that kind of stuff. If you're rolling on a subdivision that it's just been built 10 years ago, most likely you're not going to find that kind of stuff, So pay attention to the neighborhoods. Pay attention to also if it's like a neighborhood when you start rolling on a garage sales, and one you hit and you see all baby clothes, and another one you hit, it's all baby clothes. So it means or toys, and you are in a wrong area, that there's a lot of young families living there with kids, and all you finding is this kids' clothes and nothing else, So I prefer, I mean, we have so many old towns, right, in US, especially like Chicago being an old town. There's so many old neighborhoods that it's not hard to find, these garage sales.
Yeah, it's like for us in the Cape, the older areas on the north side of the island, or whatever you want to call it. So, that's where we kind of sometimes like to hang out in those areas. But there's times where you do the same thing for 5-6 years, and it seems like you just you're going to the same people's houses every year. It's like, okay, I got to switch it up and go to different neighborhoods because kind of already been through this area,
Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Yost, if I'm saying your name wrong, I apologize if I butchered. Appreciate the super chat though. Yeah, Chicago, it is pretty hot for estate sales and garage sales overall, but the season is so short for garage sales. It kind of sucks. I mean, estate sales go obviously a lot longer and pretty much all year, but it also slows down in the winter, So, do I have better luck at estate sale or garage sales? I don't know. It's probably, I can't say 50-50 because I think I hit more garage sales than estate sales. So I can't really compare it, I do never actually hardly ever plan on estate sales, meaning like sit down day before and research. I do have a couple companies that I know that if something is interesting, they contact me before and then I go. That's one of those that I plan, but usually I don't plan it. I just go out there when I'm garage selling. If I see a estate sale, I will also stop, That's just me. It's just so quicker for me to hit the, 10, 15, 20 garage sales if I'm planning to do garage sales. Pete, how are you selling the big stuff from Toys R Us in a shop? It's selling great. Yesterday we had a fantastic day. Today I was just in and out in the morning, so I don't know how the guys did most of the day. I will know tomorrow morning, but yesterday was fantastic. We sold over almost $3,000 of stuff, Oh, the ladies, and we targeted. That's one thing that I like about Gary V, that he doesn't tell you bullshit when he talks about using Facebook, Instagram, and stuff for marketing and doing the advertising, because I use that and use it very successfully. And when we target people with certain stuff, I'll tell you, it brings the crowds, man. I targeted 7 towns around me for women between ages of 24 to 55, all mommy groups. And oh man, I had a line lined up on Thursday before we open already of like 6-7 cars. So we had an awesome day. I don't know how it was today. I imagine it was pretty good as well. So that stuff, and it's a good product. It's a product that it's still available. These are not returns. This is all brand new stuff. And you know, and I'm selling this, you know, 40-50% cheaper than retail. So it's going, it's moving good. You know, if somebody has to pay $150 for some sliding toy that sits outside, I can get it for half money at my place. They're coming. It's good. It was a good pickup. I think I'm gonna do really well, and the perfect timing before Christmas. You know.
You getting any more in after these ones are done?
I could possibly, but that's gonna depend on timing too. So I need to unload a little bit quick for the first, so I create a little bit of room so I can still get, you know, load or two before Christmas, before like Thanksgiving, you know. So
Wait, that's only next month.
yeah, I know. Thanksgiving is just a month away. So, you know, I got to unload some of this stuff, which I think I will, you know, which I think I will. So, somebody says, Pete, when you hit 15, 20 garage sales, do you find yourself sometimes making questionable buys towards the end? I try never push it. That's the problem a lot of people have, right? When you're hitting estate sale or garage sales and you went to 5 and you didn't buy anything, and then you're hitting the 6th one and 7th one and you haven't buy anything, and you all of a sudden becoming desperate, you're going like, shit, I'm not going home without anything. I need to buy something. And you start making stupid decision. Oh, I can make $6 on this. I'm buying it.
I think it happens too. I mean, it happens when you're newer, I think, because I know early on I had that issue. Like, I would not leave a store or leave a estate sale without buying something. You know, it's like, oh, I spent the time here. I'm buying something. And you make a risky buy or a bad buy, and then you get home and you're like, oh shit, I'll be lucky to break even on this damn item after shipping and, you know, everything, listing it and then waiting for it to sell. It's like, seriously?
Yeah.
Now it's like I feel comfortable leaving a store with nothing. It's like, nah, it's not worth it.
It's exactly the same for the thrift stores, you know, that, you know, you hit few of them, you can't find anything, and then you go, oh, you know. But like today, and I'm gonna put out a video probably in a day or so, and I wasn't even planning to go thrifting, and I wasn't planning even to film. Now it's just so convenient that I'm using the new GoPro. It's so small, I always have it with me, that I stopped in because it was right next door. The Goodwill was right next door. I stopped in, picked up a couple things. On the way home, I stopped in another store because they sent me a message yesterday that 40% off the whole store today. So I also stopped in and picked up a couple things there. And it's just like, you just never know, you know? So I filmed it. You just never know what you're going to run into. So don't force any buys, you know? And be patient. Be patient on both sides. Be patient buying and be patient selling. Yeah, if you got here, smash that like button. Thanks, Wade. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Or, you know, you can always smash the other way around. It helps too.
It doesn't matter, actually. It brings in what's that? Engagement.
Right, engagement. Actually, I had some questions ready earlier. I don't think I asked any of them here. Let's see. So I had this comment on a video made from Brian. Brian says, very few people can find, list, and sell 12 items every day. There's a certain percentage that doesn't sell no one calculates. The eBay business model is a fantasy for the most people. It takes most of us a year or two to figure out how challenging it is, but YouTube hype continues. So this is what we were talking at the beginning with Gary Vee, right? The YouTube hype continues. And I think I was talking in my last video that I did the live hangout that we on average probably list, about in a 4 or 5 hour period, only about 12, 15 items daily. I was talking about getting help. If you were hire somebody, what are the realistic numbers for somebody to really list and find out there in a wild? I mean, when you go out there, Ronnie, and you spend all day sourcing, not even all day, but let's say you spend 5, 6 hours sourcing good stuff, you're looking for quality stuff, how much stuff you're gonna roughly find?
On average, I like to go out. It's usually an all-day affair. I go out for like 12 hours, like 9 to 9. That's when the stores tend to open. Like Goodwill opens like 10 and stays open at like 7 or 8, and then the Savers are 9 to 9. So I'll try to start with the Savers, end with the Savers, and get some of the stores in the beginning. Probably go to like 10, 12, 15 stores in a day. But I mean, most of the time I'm only finding 2 to 3 things per store. It just depends on like, it just depends because it depends. Like I was at a church thrift store last week and I must have found 20 something things in that store over 2 days, and it didn't take nothing other than, because it's such a small thrift store. It was like, oh, wow, found more stuff there than I did last Friday when I went out and went to 10 stores.
Yeah. I mean, with far as the picking side, finding stuff, I think it varies tremendously. There'll be one day that I'll have a full truck of stuff, and the next day I'll have 2 items, So that part, it's kind of tricky. But what about listing? If you honestly listing something every day, how many items, if it's quality items and you're doing research and pictures, the whole shebang, how many items you can list per hour roughly?
Per hour?
Yeah.
Probably 6 or 7. I think the most I've ever done in a day, because we sell a lot more suits and sport coats now, so they take a little bit more extra, time and stuff like that. But I think the most I ever done in a day was 69.
But then
that was probably over like 8 hours. I was in a groove going that day. But
you are talking then a team of 2, you and your wife. She's taking pictures, you listing, or vice versa?
Yeah, she usually takes the pictures, and they'll be saved either on her phone or on the computer. So I'm just taking the pictures, putting them in place. So, I don't do the pictures because I suck at them.
Okay, so let me ask you this. If you did not have a helper as your wife to take pictures, you would have to take all the pictures. What do you think you would do then in an hour?
I wouldn't be selling cold, and that's for sure. I mean, if I had to take the pictures too, I mean, probably bang out 4 hour, I guess, pictures, and I would figure 15 minutes of listing probably is what it would take you to take decent enough pictures and descriptions and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Somebody's asking, why are vintage electronics sell better on Amazon than eBay? Different clientele. Simple.
Oh, here's a question. Oh, just going back to that. How long does it take? Oh man, I'm running the blank. Your helper right there, the girl. How long does it usually? Yeah, Vicky. What's her average list time for an item on eBay?
Super slow. I should fire her. You know what? So I have 2 listers, right? She's a full-time lister, 8 hours a day, Monday to Friday. And then I also have a part-time lister. His name is Nick. Sometimes he will come in for a few hours in a week, and then he's always there Saturday, Sunday. So there's never lag on eBay as far as listing. We list every single day. But here's the thing. What Vicky lists and what he lists are 2 different things. He'll have the easy listings, meaning a lot of new stuff, not open in a package, not much research. and he can go through a lot of listings. She concentrates a lot on unusual, weird, difficult stuff that requires lots of research, sometimes will require extra cleaning. So on average, on an 8-hour day, if she can put out like between 15 to 20 listings, that's a max. Usually it's about 15 listings, so about 2 an hour maybe. But I'm telling you, she's doing research, for example, on stuff that it really takes time,
Yeah, but you have more higher quality stuff too. Most of your stuff, you average what like 120 a sale. So, her doing 2 items an hour, it's like equivalent to like listing $250 so it's not, it's not like she's listing 2 $10 things.
Yes, especially if it's really higher ticket item, there is something that will sell for $400 or $500. I don't have a problem her spending some time on it, or taking extra pictures showing, certain areas being, properly displayed to the customer. It has a scratch here, or has a crack here, or has a smudge here, stuff like that. So, no, I mean, it's, and then on the other hand, Nick, when he's listing the stuff that doesn't require as much attention, he can probably push. He probably can push on average about 5 an hour, on average. So now he also does help out if we get busy up front in a store. So it's sometimes hard to figure out actually how much he did in a day, because he might have spent, a couple hours in a store working as well behind the counter, So does Vicky get bored now listing 8 hours a day and want to get away sometimes? I'm sure she does. We try to keep it fun. She comes up front as well. We joke around, she helps customers in a store to break it up a little bit. And anytime she just needs time off, she just takes time off. It's never set in stone that, she has to be every single day till this time or that time. Sometimes she'll leave in the middle of the day for an hour to come back, so very flexible when it comes to that. I mean, can you imagine? Yeah, can you imagine sitting every day listing nonstop for years and years and years? You go nuts. Did we just lose sound? No, we didn't.
No, we're good. Trying to keep up with the chat.
All right, so maybe answer a couple questions or talk about something. I need to get a drink. You okay with that?
Yeah, I'll find something to chat about.
All right, I'll be right back. I gotta go upstairs really quick.
Regarding dumpster diving, has anybody ever been caught by the cops? I've actually never dumpster dived. I know Pete has. That's I don't know, sketchy thing. Dumpster diving for me is like sketchy. I don't know. I think it's kind of a little odd. But I'm a germaphobe person, so I don't know. That may have something to do with it. Best time to go dumpster diving. Daytime, maybe, when you can actually see. Get one of those lights on your like I wear a hard hat with a light on it. Go at nighttime, but then it's like kind of, I don't know. I feel like if you go at nighttime, it's kind of like shady. Like you attract more police or something to it. I don't know. We'll ask Pete when he comes back. But anybody find anything interesting this week? But what are you guys talking about over there? You made 100 easy dumpster diving. No dumpster diving during the summer. Yeah, I don't know much about dumpster diving. Like that's one of those things. I know Steph and Steve, was it Steve and Steph? They have their channel. They do a lot of dumpster diving, which I think is actually, I think it's interesting. storage units. Storage units look like a lot of work. So it's always interesting. People here were asking about dumpster diving. You have done some dumpster diving in the past. Now, like, is there a better time of day to go, or best time to go dumpster diving, like night, day?
Anytime. I wouldn't go at night because at night you can't see anything and you potentially might injure yourself, you know. Make sure you wear gloves. And yesterday I was getting some boxes. Actually, no, 2 days ago. No, yesterday. I was getting some boxes, some styrofoam behind Kirkland, and they threw out like 6 brand new pictures in the size of, I don't know, maybe 12 by 24. And they slashed them with like a razor blade right through the middle. So they were like, come on, guys. There was nothing wrong with them. And they were like $24.99 each. And I guess they just didn't want them anymore. Tossed them out, but slashed every single one of them. I'm like, come on, I could flip these in a store for like $3.99 or something, you know? So,
It's weird because our Goodwill a few years ago got a bunch of stuff from like Nordstrom's or one of those places, and a lot of them looked like they were slid or damaged before they were donated. And I was just like, why would you guys even put that on the floor? Why was it even donated? It would be brand new, had the tags on a shirt, and you'd see like a slice down the chest or something.
A lot of stores will also spray with the paint, which I don't get it too. I have this one guy who dumpster dives all the time, and he comes to my shop and sells me things, and he will spend hours cleaning that paint that they spray on. They threw out like a bunch of Keurig from behind, I think it was Kohl's or maybe some other department store. He brought me like 6 of them, and you could still see like some kind of red paint, like X's. They would spray X's on him. And he said he spent like 3 hours cleaning those bastards to bring it to me. And I only ended up buying like 3 of them because they were just, he couldn't get all the paint off, It's just, I know Harbor Freight, they, when they throw out different tools to their dumpsters as well, they'll spray it as well. I don't know. There's a lot of crazy stuff that these stores throw out. It's just insane.
I've seen where Joseph A. Bank has donated stuff, and they cut the tags out of the clothing, so you don't know the brand.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've seen that happen. I was just like, that is so weird. I mean, I guess I don't know, but it's like you're donating it, and I bet they're writing off the full freaking price of that probably too at the same time.
Somebody's asking, how do I train my lister to price the items? I don't. I think Vicky knows more than I do. So, I mean, there's obviously certain stuff that we'll always talk about and argue. If she's not sure, she'll come, we'll talk either to me, to agent, to make a decision on the price. But for the most part, I leave it all up to her. Yeah, going back to dumpsters, go watch Steve and Steph, right? Resale Killers, and they're diving every single day. They're streaming live from these dumpsters, out in California. They're finding some crazy crap in there. So
they're interesting watching that. I just have a problem. I would have to be like covered in like some type of body gear to go even into that.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
You never know what you're gonna find. You got to be really careful especially when you're jumping inside, because there's always lots of broken glass. They throw out all kinds of stuff, so you got to be really careful. Always wear gloves, But yeah, you can find some cool stuff. I mean, I dragged out a month ago, beautiful lamp, Crate and Barrel threw out this wooden lamp that it's about my height, about 6 feet tall. It didn't have the top, but the whole piece, beautiful. It's like $300, There was nothing wrong with it. I still can't figure out really. I mean, the area when you screw in the bulb was a little bit bent, but all it took is me straightening it out with my hand. I I still don't know why they threw that out. So it just amazes me.
I don't know. Interesting.
Somebody says $5,000 for 2 days in jail. That's probably dumpster diving. Yeah, check your area, because it's not allowed everywhere. So, but it's, just like the garbage up front, when people when it's put out in the garbage, it's public, right? Anybody can grab it. They just don't want you to go into the areas when the dumpsters are like locked, right? They have a lot of these areas that they're like gated, and they have a lock on it. They don't want anybody jumping over it and going in it. But if it's a freestanding dumpster, just check your area. Don't get yourself in trouble. Don't end up in jail from dumpster diving.
People were saying about needles in trash cans and stuff like that.
I see Amazon seller 99. Can you explain a little how you compensate your employees that list items on eBay? Do you pay salary or per listing or both? It's strictly hourly. No more, and I think I talked about this before. No more per listing, no commission. Because when you do that, and I did that a long time ago, people try to do half-ass job, basically. They want to do as many listings as they can, because you're paying them $1 or $2 or $3 per listing, whatever you decide. And, they want to do 20 listings an hour, They want to make that buck. And then you're missing half of the pictures, you're missing half of the description, nothing but problems. So I pay strictly hourly, and I tell people to take their time. I'd rather have no problems and good listings, and have my listers spend a little bit more time on each particular listing that have nothing but problems and bunch of returns and stupid questions that are costing me time, than later on sitting in front of computer answering all the emails from people, Okay. Some towns prohibit trash picking. Yeah, that's true. Some do. Some do. Somebody asked me earlier, actually sent me an email today. Let me pull that email up. I thought it was interesting. And I don't know why people will go through that kind of lengths to try to dig up stuff on you, but so this email was from Tim, and he wants to know, and the title of the email is Casino Executive. And it says, Pete, can you talk about your last job? Google says you are a former casino executive. Did you know that, Ronnie? I'm a casino executive.
You worked in a casino, I believe. Like early on. Like what, 20 years ago?
Long time ago. So I actually started out in Vegas. I went to Las Vegas in 1990. When I turned 21 in 91, I got my first job as a casino dealer. I basically trained myself. I even didn't go to school, dealer school. I trained myself with my mom and my other buddy who were already dealers. They trained me. I learned kind of how to be a blackjack dealer, so dealing cards on a carpet, Then I got a couple interviews, got a shitty job outside of Vegas, got my experience there. Then I learned roulette, then I learned craps, then I learned Paiga, a bunch of different games, move on, jump from casino to casino to casino. And then finally came back to Illinois when one of the casinos opened up here, opened up that place, which is Elgin, Illinois, Grand Victoria Casino, which was at the time half owned by Hyatt Corporation, because some kind of company had a stake of 51% that was local. Hyatt was local. And then Circus Properties, which is now owned by Mandalay Bay, they were part in that deal. And I came transferred from Las Vegas to open this place here. And I worked here for a couple of years. And after a few years, I quit. That was it. So I was one of the pit bosses here in Elgin, Grand Victoria. Crazy business. It's all about money. Crazy, crazy, crazy. It's all about money. It's beautiful on the outside. It's crazy on the inside. All the dealers smile. All the dealers talk to you nicely. All the pit bosses. It's all about the freaking money. Yep. So that's my story about casino executive. Long time ago. I had fun though. When I was young, and I wanted, actually, my wife at the time, she was just my fiance when I started working out in Vegas, and I wanted her to move, and she says there's no freaking way. I love Vegas. I can come here once a year and have fun. There's no freaking way I'm raising a family out in Vegas. That's why I moved back to Illinois. Was it a good idea? I think so. 25 years ago or 30 years ago, whatever. I mean, it's been a long time. Vegas was totally different what it is now. If you go to Vegas now, it's just totally, totally different. So I still remember working for a place called Barbary Coast on Strip that was no longer there. That I had a pleasure actually dealing to Clint Eastwood there. That was my first celebrity I ever met. Can you imagine? You're 21 years old and you're dealing cards to Clint Eastwood. It was fun. But anyway, this was one of the casinos that was still ran not by the corporation. It was ran by the people that, built Vegas. It was fun.
Joe Pesci?
I'm going to end my story here.
Trip down memory lane.
Yeah.
Here's a question. What's better, in your opinion, Goodwill or Salvation Army in terms of their prices?
So I think, far as pricing goes, Salvation Army is better. As far as the product and the quality of product, Goodwill is better, I think. As in my area, it could be different somewhere else. I don't go to Salvation Army that much. I just don't like their setup. I don't like how dirty it is around here, and their selection sucks. On the other hand, Goodwill has a decent selection. Their stores are pretty clean around here, but some of their prices are stupid crazy, or they're starting to be crazy, So Savers, I stopped completely going to Savers. For me, their prices are absolutely outrageous at the moment, especially when it comes to electronics. And I have one kind of almost not across the street, but like literally a minute away from my shop,
I think that was the one I visited when we were in Chicago.
Yeah.
It was the one. I didn't know we were so close to your shop that day. But, Savers in general around us even is pricey. It's just but the stores are clean. They're organized. But I still don't like their whole setup, of their pricing thing. And they're not really a charity, a percentage of their money goes to charity. It's kind of Goodwill. Salvation Army is probably the more messier stores, it seems like. And they do seem to get less quality stuff than the other stores, but they probably have the cheapest prices for us anyway around us. And not all of them. There's some stores that are messier than others.
Yeah. Yeah, it all depends on the area too, because I went to Florida and I seen, like, in the middle of nowhere, some of the Goodwills, and they were tiny comparing to Goodwills that I have out here in Chicago. I mean, literally tiny. I mean, they were not even maybe 1/3 of a Goodwill that it's here, So it's like, it all depends where you at, I guess. I got few very small but local shops. They're like half size of Goodwill, but I tell you, some of these local places, they're producing some great stuff. like good quality stuff, you know. And they're not overrun by people. So because it's just, you have to know about these places, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Probably the best place to get best prices are like the small little mom and pop or church thrift stores.
I
They
love.
don't have a lot of room and they gotta, move stuff. But like around us in the wintertime, they'll have the same inventory. You can go to them once a month and they got the same stuff they had there last month. You'll even go through the rack. They're like, oh, I seen that. Their hours change. The population's not here, like you were saying. Just depends on where you are. Summertime, people are, donating a lot of stuff to those places. But wintertime, a lot of those stores don't get nothing.
So John puts a comment here. I am doing close to 100,000 a year as a one-man band, and I have very low expense. And the biggest question for me is whether or not to expand. Wow, if you're doing 100 grand by yourself, and you're not killing yourself, unless you live in California and you need shitload of money to live on, 100 grand, man, it's a lot of money. I mean, it is. But if you want to expand and if you can create more wealth for yourself, go for it, you know. But I mean, wouldn't you say 100 grand by himself? That's a great freaking score. I mean, living, doing this.
Well, it depends if is that gross or is that take home. I mean, if it's gross, you're probably walking away with 50, which is still pretty good at the end of the day. I mean, you could probably live most places on 50,
Yeah.
I don't think I will ever hire any help. I think it's just going to be me and my wife part-time helping me with pictures, and that's it. I kind of spread myself over a bunch of different platforms and stuff and do a bunch of different little things to where it works. You get some money from Amazon, some money from stuff locally on Facebook, some money from eBay, a little bit from other like Grailed or Poshmark, and it seems to work. But
Yeah, I mean, and listen, I'm trying to answer John's questions here. If you have the drive and you want more, obviously, money, you want want to make more profits, and you have the drive, go for it. Hire people. I mean, that's the only way to do it. You got to hire people, because eventually you, like I talked on a previous video, you hit that bracket that you don't have any more time in a day. You got only so many hours that you can do this. So you need help. The question is, do you want to expand? If you already have a model that it's working, it shouldn't be that hard really to expand. It's just finding the right people. And it's hard. I got to say, finding the right people to work for you, it's hard. Before you find that right, unless you get very lucky. But most of the time, you got to fire 10 people before you find that one that you can be trustworthy and it does, really good work. It's hard. Good help is hard.
I guess it just depends on what your needs are and what you want.
Trying to catch up a little bit here with the chat. Somebody's asking here if I offer any bonus to my employees. Yeah, I do. They get paid vacations. They get Christmas bonuses. I try to make my employees feel like they're working for family business. You know, we are not big corporations. These people mean a lot to us. I know older families. I know Vicky's husband. I know Ryan's wife. You know, I know their kids. I try to treat them like I wanted to be treated. You know, these people depend on me, and I depend on them. I mean, that's the whole thing. I think the biggest thing is when you hire people and you realize they're good, and you don't have to babysit them. Take care of them as much as you can. Little things that you will do for them will go extremely long way for you in a business. Asking questions, finding out about their family, helping them with certain things, it goes a long way. They will remember that you try to help them, and they will go extra mile for you if something is not right. So always remember that. Take care of your employees. And I know it's harder to do in big corporations, right? When you have thousands of employees, you know, that CEO can't see everybody. But in a small environment like mine is, that you just have few employees, take care of them, because they are the best asset you have for being successful. I missed the chat completely. I don't know. Somebody's talking something about Poshmark. I have no idea what's going on Poshmark. I know I sell some stuff on Poshmark. We pack some stuff. Vicky does it for me. I have no idea how it works. Isn't that amazing? That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Having the right employees.
They have the best, what do you want to call it? Like, I don't know, just, I mean, their best shipping. Anything 5 pounds or less goes in any priority box. Just stick the label on it and send it on its way. Or, you know, other than like a medium flat rate or anything like that, you know. But, you know, just a regular priority box or something like that. One rate to the buyer. Buyer pays shipping. It's like eBay. Get your shit together. Get on board with that.
Yeah. And if somebody wants to know, I don't sell any clothing on Poshmark, but I do sell on Poshmark.
We sell jewelry.
No. No, I do not sell electronics on Poshmark. I sell some makeup, cosmetics. It does sell, not huge sales, but it sells. We pack a few items every week.
I see, senor.
All right, any more questions, guys? We've been on now for a little bit over an hour. We still got a ton of people. Still 260. Excuse me, 260 people watching. Thank you very much for everybody coming. We appreciate it. The title of this, it's kind of shitty, the title that I put on this video, isn't it? Blah, blah.
You could always change it after. That's the best part. You could just change it out and make it whatever it is. I don't know how many times I've misspelled stuff because you're typing real fast. You're like, hey. Or I put the wrong date. I'm like, oh.
Pete, have you sold what? No, I haven't sold whatever the name of this espresso machine is. Late 90s. Can't find anything on it. If it's a Starbucks machine, I don't know. I have no idea. Do some research. Google it. Don't know too much about espresso machines. Pete, where are you from? Where am I from?
Where are you?
Yeah.
People in the chat can tell. From Poland.
I'm a Polak.
I wasn't going to go there, but hey, you know.
Hey, I don't. I don't care. Off topic. Is one of those receivers behind you a Pioneer SX of some kind? Right there. No, these are all tape deck. There's a Scott and there's a Ken with no Pioneer here at the moment. I swap quite a bit of this stuff occasionally, so no Pioneers here at the moment.
Get the little TV back there too.
Yeah, little tiny TV. I actually picked up today a 9-inch Magnavox TV with the VCR in it at that local thrift shop, and they had 40% off. They wanted $8. I got it for like $5. Those suckers will sell anywhere from like $75 to $100. So, and I might even get more because it has a remote and it has an extra cable for using it like in an RV and stuff, for 12 volt. So, and those little units, lots of gamers use them. They like them. So it's pretty popular. You can make some, I'm hopefully going to make some good money on it.
Pretty cool little nugget.
What town in Poland you from? I'm from Warsaw. From the capital of Poland, Warsaw. I came here when I was like 13 years old. So I basically grew up here in the States. Pete, you need to visit Cleveland, Ohio on your next trip. I've been to Cleveland a couple times. I do have. I used to have a family there. They no longer live in Cleveland. They moved to Florida. But
Florida's the place to be.
yeah, what happened with your move? You were thinking about it for a very long time to move to Florida, and
yeah, but my wife got the job. so right now it's just I stay where the wife is. The wife.
Okay.
She worked for JetBlue for a little while. Now she works with another company. I'm running a blank, but they run a, what do you call it? Like a hangar, and planes fly in and they take care of them. But her boss would put it, they deal with the 1% of the 1%.
Okay.
Like, okay. Like today they had Bobby Orr. He flew in there and was there. She's had some other people like and I probably shouldn't be saying anything.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
It's a small local private jet setup, blah blah blah. So yeah, that's great. So
Yeah.
obviously you're staying then at Cape Cod.
Yeah, for now. Things will change. I mean, she could move a few different places. Like they have a huge place, I guess, in Sarasota. The place she works for now. So, for right now, it's here. I don't know. The fear of moving is always changing your buying habits because of what you're used to buying here. Everything, and then, it's always one of those things. It's like,
Yeah.
And I can deal with the cold a lot better than I can deal with the heat.
I tell you, I'm the same way. I just find that out that really I'm actually don't mind winter coming. I mean, really cold doesn't bother me. It's just if we get a lot of snow, that's what bugs me. Okay, I hate shoveling. I hate dealing with all that stuff, especially when I have a shop and a big parking lot. Right? I mean, constantly dealing with that stupid snow, white flakes. I can't stand snow, but cold doesn't bother me. But I tell you, when I went on vacation just a month and a half ago with my wife, and we even didn't go that far south. We were in Georgia and South Carolina right before the hurricane hit, and it was so hot and humid. It was like 90s, upper 90s, 100 with 100% humidity. Man, I was dying. It's not for me. I can't handle that kind of heat. It's just too humid. So I don't know if I see myself ever like moving way down south, unless it's for a winter time, unless I can swing like 6 months up there, down south, and maybe 6 months up north here somewhere, maybe Minnesota, so I can do some fishing. But I can't imagine living in Florida in the summertime. It's just, I can't handle it. Too much for me.
Yeah, I mean, we in a month or two we'll have the Dominican place all actually finished being built. So we could spend, once we get it situated and furnished and all that, we could spend some time in the winter down there, which would be nice in January and February when it's a little too chilly on the Cape.
I'm coming. I'm inviting myself already. Yeah, like I said,
Set your place up.
in a winter time, I don't mind, going out and being there. But like in the summertime, when it's so freaking hot and humid, I don't know. So
When I see like the average temperature is 90 for like 4 months, I'm like, I was like, that's the hottest day in the Cape.
and it's totally different heat too, because like I said, I used to live in Las Vegas, and I tell you, down south in Nevada, man, it's hot too, but it's dry heat. It's different heat, Here you get 100 degrees with that humidity. You standing doing nothing in a shade, and you sweating. It's just, anyway. Now we are way off topic. we talking where we want to go on vacation. Hey Pete, do you ever use Craigslist to purchase inventory? Yes, I do. I still do some ads on Craigslist. I still buy stuff from Craigslist. I don't sell on Craigslist anymore, but I still buy off it. The last deal that I made for LP records was from a Craigslist. So yeah, you can still find some stuff. Although I think, depends where you are, I think that Craigslist is overall on a decline. These apps are really kicking ass. How about you, Ronnie? You buy some stuff from Craigslist?
Not as it seems like as these other sites have come along and kind of beat Amazon to the punch in beat Craigslist to punch in a lot of different things. They just need a new overhaul, that whole platform.
Yeah.
And I unfortunately, I think so many people have been burned or tried to be scammed that they just like screw Craigslist. It's kind of like the people that had issues with eBay early on, and they just, for whatever reason, they're not going to go back to eBay. They got screwed in 2000, and you always hear about those people.
Yeah.
It's
funny when you say that. I'm a very good friend of mine. Actually, you know him. You met him, Andy, that did all the sound setup for us when we did the reseller rally.
Okay.
He occasionally, he brings a lot of stuff to me that he doesn't want to use anymore. And he says, okay, I want this, this, and this. And I'll tell him, okay, you know what? I can pay you for this, but you're better off selling this on your own. And he says, Pete, I don't want to sell it on my own. Every time I try to sell it on eBay, I get fucked. Excuse my language, but that's how he is. He says, I don't know how you do it. I mean, the 5 transactions that I did in the last 2 years, every other transaction I had a problem, I'm like, I'm sorry, man. I'm really sorry. He says, just take it. Just buy it from me. I don't want to deal with this. So, yeah, you're right. Some of the people will have a bad experience here and there, and they just don't want to deal with it. Oh, I actually sold a $1,400 TV on Craigslist last week. Good for you. That's awesome. I'm not saying that the platform is completely dead. I think that it's just dying,
just too many competition. I would
let
go, and the other one, and then Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook is kicking ass. I mean, it's absolutely kicking ass. So
Facebook in general, and you can, if you sell in something specific like I do, you can go into groups and sell in the groups. Like I sell a lot of advertising stuff, and go to the groups and sell it in the different groups. And
yeah. Somebody's asking Ronnie here, what happened to Tommy Bahamas? Used to sell them a lot. Now it's hard.
Tommy Bahama is just one of those brands that there's just too many of them. It's like it's a regularly common brand. I mean, what are they, $75, $100 brand new for a shirt? So they're not that expensive, you know. So there's just a lot of them out there. People use them. People donate them. The bigger sizes do well. If you could find something 2X or bigger, they still sell. Or the ones with like the embroidered designs on the back and stuff like that do okay.
Funny, I'm reading here. Sold your soul on Facebook. It's funny. Pete,
Poor
I
Pete.
emailed you last week about Beatles 45 LPs from the 70s released in Poland. Never heard back. You know what? Shit, I'm sorry. I remember that email. I apologize. I was busy when I read that email and I never responded to you. You know what? If this record was pressed in Poland, it's not worth shit. Excuse my language, but any pressing that was done in Eastern European countries are not worth anything. The recording quality of these studios that they had back in the day, it's terrible. So I don't think you can get a whole lot of money for it, and especially when it was done like in 70s. I mean, you can still get some money for it because it is Beatles, right? And it's a 45, but don't expect to get a whole lot, you know. And probably most likely the artwork and the cover is horrible. They never put any paid any attention to have any quality paper to use for the covers and stuff like that. My daughter is asking me, when did I start my live show? About an hour ago, honey. No, more than that. We've been on for an hour and 20. Funny, my wife, my older daughter likes to watch the live shows. So I hope that answers. I'm sorry. I hope that answers your question about that Beatles record, and I apologize if I didn't answer your email. I get quite a few emails. What else, Ronnie? Got anything else?
I can't think of anything else, but that's about it. I'm planning for a good 2019. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Getting more space. Looking for the perfect warehouse. Well, not perfect, but something better than I had last time.
Right. But are you like looking for a warehouse because of eBay or because of more of your business with the signs, or both, or
a little bit of everything? Just need more space so we can get into more things. You know, furniture is something that I see quite often. I know money can be made on it, but I just don't have the room for it.
yeah.
Somebody is home.
Oh, okay. All right, guys. Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up. We appreciate everybody coming out and spending a little bit of time with me and Ronnie. Hopefully next week, maybe we can have Chad join us and do the regular show of reseller polls. But for now, thank you everybody for coming along. Thank you for all the questions. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. Any final words, Ronnie?
No, just have fun. Have a good weekend. Find some good stuff, and have a good week.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll see you guys next week.
Appreciate it.
What did I get a present?